It's a Monday. It's just beating a dead horse at this point, but it's exhausting. It's not easy at all because oh my gosh, I did so much today. I cannot wait to do a sit down video and update you guys on everything.
So right now I am reviewing ISPs, just going over those that have a little bit of the past due date. I'm reviewing ISPs, just making sure that they have everything and crossing that off. Had a staff meeting today, went over tardiness, communication, reporting, anything and everything.
Hey, you guys. I hope you're all well. I thought I would start the voiceover here. As you guys heard, I did have a staff meeting just because I thought that we were past overdue for one. There were a lot of things that I needed to address with the staff, not only the tardiness, but also just making sure that they're making it an importance to report anything that needs to be reported. I know that sometimes they tend to get so busy during the day that they just communicate amongst each other, which is great, but sometimes that communication isn't relayed to me when it comes to our residents and things that absolutely need attention. So I had to remind them of that. The tardiness, of course, and just prioritizing. I know they get very flustered and frustrated and just discouraged whenever we have days when we're short staffed. I do too, but I had to let them know, just keep the ball rolling on those rough days, because for what it feels like and seems like, they're here to stay. This short staffing thing is everywhere, and it's just same story, different day. But anyway, so yeah, I had that meeting. I also had a care plan meeting with a family member after going over their loved one's care plan after the assessment that I did. It bumped them up a level. So I have to have a meeting with the family, let them know, hey, this is what has changed. This is a new level of care, and there's a paperwork that they're supposed to sign. And once they sign that, I hand it over to the executive director so that they can enter the new and updated status, level of care status on their system, and it basically generates a new price. So that meeting with the family wasn't so fun because, like, times are hard. I get it. It's not cheap at all, living in assisted living, and sometimes these meetings can be a little rough because as much as you want to keep the price as is. I have no control over it, first of all. That's my boss and their boss, and whether or not they want to give a discount or whatever. My sole job is to make sure that the level of care is reflected, the correct and updated level of care is reflected, and they deal with the numbers. So, I had to get the ED involved in that a little bit because the family member was just giving me some pushback, and I was like, "Look, this whole price thing is beyond my pay grade, so we're gonna have to take it up to the ED." So that was fun. Um, I also needed to complete a very, very much overdue QAPI report. For those of you who work in nursing homes and also assisted living, you may be familiar. I don't know if floor nurses care much about QAPI reports. I think it's mainly like the DON, but QAPI reports are basically, it stands for Quality Assurance Performance I forgot what the I stand for. Improvement, I think. So it's a report that I run. It's due at on the first week of every month, usually the 6th. I think my boss gives me till the 6th to turn that in. And basically, what it does is it gives us a pulse on how the building is doing overall. Like, how many falls have we had? How many people have we had sent to the hospital? How many people have had to have surgery post falls? How many injuries have we had to report to the state? Was there any infections in the building, wounds, all of that. So the way that I would find out the numbers to those is through my progress notes. So that's why it's very important for me to catch up with my progress notes, because if I'm running late on progress notes, then I have no reports to pull from the system. So um, this time of the month is never fun because it's basically me playing catch up and then also trying to run this full report. And I don't always do it right because you have to pull the numbers in the charting system in the EHR that we use. I pull those numbers, and then I have to take those numbers into an Excel spreadsheet where it calculates the percentage of where we stand. So it's a lot of back and forth from my it's just a lot of back and forth. I don't enjoy doing that. Honestly, if you ask me, I think it should be the regional director's job to pull all these reports for all of the buildings that she oversees. But, anyways, I digress. She leaves it up to the wellness directors to do it. So, I was just playing catch up with that. What else? Yeah, I did the usual, checked on residents, also checked on the staff. I've had a lot of agency in the building, so that's never fun. I do appreciate our veteran agency people who come in. You know, those who know the residents, who love their job, those who the residents absolutely adore. They make the day go by so smooth. But it's the ones that I don't personally care much for. It's the ones that come in and they make it very obvious that they're just here for a paycheck. Those are the ones that I have an issue with. But on the other hand, I'm also grateful that they're there because, it's an extra set of hands that we need, not want, but need. Um, so I spent a lot of time upstairs just making sure that they were doing their job. Um, and so, yeah. So as you all can tell by the title of this video, I'm sure y'all are waiting for me to just get going with explaining. So I have officially turned in my letter of resignation. I finally decided on it. I was kind of sitting on it for a few weeks, but there were a few circumstances that kind of pushed me to basically just type it up and press submit and CC a few people in that email. Um, so I guess I'll just start off from the very beginning. I'm not going to get into too much detail about this because I still plan on doing a sit down video, but I just wanted to give you guys some clarity in this video as to how we got to this point. So I don't even know how many times I have recorded this. I don't know if it's a sign that I should not be giving too much detail. So here we go again, one last time. So what I was saying is that I'm taking it back to November, December. Long story short, because of my husband's work schedule, he had to dedicate one day out of the week to absolutely be present at his job. And so because of that, I had to stay home with our daughter. And I explained that to my boss. She was okay with it. But long story short, around January, her boss, someone from corporate, was absolutely not okay with me not being present in the building one day out of the week, even though I explained to them that, we have two nurses in the building, myself and my colleague, and she's there 5 days out of the week. There's never a day, Monday through Friday, that we don't have a nurse in the building. But that was made a big issue. which I don't understand because Saturdays and Sundays, the residents are there with no nurse on site. Granted, I'm on call if anything was to happen, but we don't have a nurse in the building. But anyways, I digress. So I did spend maybe 2 to 3 weeks in the beginning of the year working from home. Nothing had changed except the fact that I was not physically in the building one day out of the week. I was still working from home on my laptop, on call. My phone was always available there if the med techs had any issues or if there was anything going on. Family members already have my cell phone number, so if they needed anything from me on Fridays, I was there. So I had somewhat of a meeting with my boss's boss, the person who had an issue with me not being there once a week. So she just kept pressing the issue of me not being there once a week. And she basically told me, she's like, it's either you find a solution or, you're going to have to work on your transition. To me, that's basically like softly pushing someone, like walking someone out the door. If you tell someone to work on their transition, that's basically telling them, I'm not okay with what's going on. You can leave, right? So I asked my boss, I said, what does that mean? And when she asked her boss what that meant, her boss was like, oh no, I didn't fire her. That's not what I meant. I'm not asking her to leave, but basically like I have a choice, but I really don't have a choice. I got tired of that back and forth because I went on for like a month and a half. I got really tired of it. The job never gets easier. The things that were actually happening in the building and the unprofessionalism that was happening from the top, from the people at the top down to my colleagues, the other managers in the building, things were just getting very, very, very chaotic. It started to affect my mental health. I felt like I was in this hamster wheel, just going, Monday through Friday, not really getting a break on weekends because, you're always on call. There's always some kind of thing going on to where you have to give your undivided attention to. And after that whole conversation, it just made me realize, people are going to choose how they value you. It's either they think that you're worth making some adjustments or they think you're not worth it. So I made the decision to turn in my letter of resignation. It wasn't an easy decision to make, of course, but it was the best decision for myself. I'm going to miss the residents. I'm going to miss the care staff, the really good ones, and I'm going to miss the job in general, just not the extraness that comes with it that honestly, it's not necessary. Like a lot of the things that people are doing, their behavior, their unprofessionalism is not necessary. And, I choose not to surround myself around that. So I had multiple reasons for turning in this letter of resignation, but I'm still going to make a sit down video, you guys. On this day, I know I mentioned that I had a staff meeting. Yes, I did. And it was my very last staff meeting. It was bittersweet, but I know that in my heart with all the, the assignment folders that I created and all the information that I basically handed them, they have what they need. They have the tools that they need to just keep on going, even in my absence while the position is vacant. It's just, these last few weeks of mine, it's just been about, telling some family members the news, telling some of the nurses that come in the building from home health or hospice, just, my favorite people, I'm telling them the news now. So yeah, you guys, that's what's been going on. We'll talk more about this in upcoming videos, but for now, that's what's going on. Hey you guys, it is the end of the day. Happy Monday. It's 7 p.m. Been a pretty busy one. Let me try to see if I can recount all of the things that were done today. I had a staff meeting. um, today. I addressed a lot of things that were addressed in the staff meeting. It's just beating a dead horse at this point, but I addressed the tardiness issues that we've been having. I addressed the importance of just prioritizing tasks when they happen to be short staffed. Like today, I literally only had 2 care partners upstairs. So, I had to remind them that when we're short like this, while we're waiting for our agency to come in, I had to remind them about the importance of just prioritizing getting the people up that absolutely need to get up. Making sure that there's somebody downstairs helping in a dining room with breakfast and meals, stuff like that. I also wanted to reiterate the fact that I'm dependent on them to report any and everything from skin breakdowns to mental status changes to health status changes. Anything that needs to be reported, report to the med tech, and the med tech would essentially report to me. So I went over the last week, I think it was on Friday, I redid all of the assignment folders for all 3 halls in assisted living, just because there are some people that have moved out, some have passed away, we've got new residents, and so I just wanted to update it. I let them know about that, the shower schedule, the laundry schedules, any changes that I've made so far that I felt they needed to be aware of. I went ahead and let them know that. Just want to make sure that there isn't a reason given as to why somebody didn't get their shower or why the laundry wasn't done. So, of course, I thank them for everything that they do, really. It's not an easy job. I let them know that being a caregiver, a nurse, just any job that essentially requires you to take the role of a caregiver, it's exhausting. It's not easy at all, because you've got to put your needs after somebody else's, and that's never easy. So I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge them for everything. Let's see, what else did I do? There was a lot of medication reconciliations that needed to be done. I did just a brief cart audit. I'm supposed to do those daily, but never have the chance to do that daily. So today I just went over the cart, saw what was missing, what meds needed to be thrown away because of a resident having passed away or moved out. What else? My gosh, I did so much today. I reviewed a few medications with the med techs. The 3 to 11 med tech was someone from agency. She's never been in the building, so I spent quite a while upstairs just orienting her with medications, who gets their insulin at dinner time, because even though the MAR, you have orders from the MAR and it tells you what time a resident gets their medication, they all have their own routines. They're home essentially, so they have their own time when they take their medication. So I kind of gave her the heads up on what was. I gave her the heads up on who gets their medications crushed with applesauce. I did a few rounds around dinner just to check on residents, especially those that I heard weren't feeling well. So I checked on them. One of them, she really wasn't feeling well, so I went in there to check on her and see if she wanted like some room service ordered for dinner. She refused. She said she wanted to get up and go to dinner herself. So I helped her out of bed and got her toileted and all that. And she had dinner downstairs. The day went by so quick. It went by so quick, y'all. Like, it's just, I can't even believe that it's almost 8 p.m. actually. So, trying to think of what else I did. Of course, I've called pharmacy. I always call them. Like, they never go a day without hearing my voice. I'm trying to think. Tomorrow, oh, I also updated a few care plans. I've been holding off until like the end of the day when things slow down a little bit so I can just sit down and focus on my computer on these care plans because they just take so long. So I completed an ISP, a care plan for a resident, reviewed it, completed it, and I started for another one that I'm going to finish tomorrow. My goal is to complete 2 tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to do a virtual move-in assessment for a potential resident. So I'm going to do that tomorrow because our salesperson needs to know what level she's at so that we know. So I guess the family wants to know how much their expenses will be once they move in. So I'm going to do that assessment. And then on Wednesday, I've got a resident who's getting discharged from the hospital, and she's going straight to a rehab. So I'll be heading over there. It's a little far from here. It's like a 45-minute drive, but it's okay. I don't mind. I haven't gone out of the facility to visit a resident in quite some time. To be a resident in a hospital or rehab, which is a good thing. It just means that we haven't had anybody, stay for a long time at the hospital. That's always good news. But yeah, on Wednesday I'll be heading out there. Thursday I don't have anything in particular planned yet besides completing 2 ISPs again. So yeah, I cannot wait to do a sit-down video and update you guys on everything. There's just so much, and all of last week, I don't think I picked up the camera last week at all, actually, because I've just been bombarded between life at home and work. The days just been running into each other. Just felt like time has just been flying so fast. But anyways, I'm not even sure how long this vlog is going to be, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, what do you do? If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. And yeah, how's your day? How's your week been? I don't know when you're watching this, but how's it going? Let's chat it up in the comment section below. All right, y'all. I'll see you in my next video. And yeah, y'all be safe out there.